Another pitfall that I've seen is this idea that we run this test, we've seen this kind of 30% conversion lift, and when I do the math and extrapolate across all the different conversion events for the year that this is going to impact, I'm talking a $10 million revenue gain. So we always recommend exercising some caution and being a little bit conservative, even when the data shows that, yeah, when we execute based on these test results, this is the kind of gain that we can expect to see. I'm curious about what you think, what you advise your clients with regard to test expectations and ways to sort of avoid those pitfalls come the end of the year when maybe some of those really aggressive revenue gains aren't seen.
It's a huge pitfall to take that learning and say that equates to X million dollars, for example. The things that people need to factor into that calculation, because it does point, a winning test does point to incremental revenue at a grander scale. That certainly is the case. But there are many other factors that can get in the way. For example, if that test result is from a new user versus a returning user, if the product that you are selling is a repeatable purchase product, it is unrealistic to think that those same users who are returning every week or every month or every quarter buying the same product will continue to buy at that same rate because of that winning variation, for example. So you have to take into consideration some degradation. And I think that it's important when reporting up to the effectiveness and the ROI and the real business value that that test brought, it's important to say, look, there could be an incremental gain of X, and there could also be an incremental gain of X minus a certain variance percentage. So I think it's important to celebrate that potential, and it's certainly important to track what happens to that. But it's very dangerous to just assume, based on math, that percentage increase is going to be exactly that same percentage increase over time. One additional thing to consider is that as you are continually testing, you don't know how one iterative test 2 months later conflicts or enhances the results of the first test. So let's say you run a test on a product detail page and you make an incremental change and you say, yes, this is great, and sales are trending up. But then you run another test. You don't know whether that is enhancing that first test or actually hurting the results of that first test. So that type of conflict, that type of potential collision in test environments, all of those things kind of play into what the true impact, revenue impact is from testing.